we go. Just had to get everything in the right order so it works for me. I moved you over. Are you all right with being on the other side of the screen tonight, Thomas?
Where'd you go? Which side? Yeah.
I'm over here.
You could be anywhere you want to be. I am so discombobulated with, I've got a new computer, as you know, and so Jet RA is so good with tech. He helped me troubleshoot what I was fighting for about 4.5 days. You can't see, I've got screens here, my main computer right here with an external camera on it. And then I have a screen above it. And I have one more up on my wall, and nothing was connecting. Well, 2 of them were connecting, but I couldn't get anything else. All the adapters, you name it, everything. So I called Scott last night and said, hey, this is my computer that I've got. It's not working. Within 1 minute, he's like, your brand new computer only accepts 2 screens, nothing else. He already knew. So he helped me figure it out. And
it would have been nice if I had told you that before you got the new computer, huh? I mean,
yeah, because I wouldn't have bought this computer.
They sort of let you down.
Yeah. So now I'm working with Apple and how I can, I'm on the new computer now. It's going great, but I'm trying to figure out how I can return this, get the other one, because the other one will accept 4. So I can have all my
the Wallow power. What are you going to call it when you have all the screens? When you've got the wall of studio picture,
the weather wall.
The weather wall.
The weather wall.
Can't wait.
Weather wall, y'all. No, I don't know.
Now you're going to get sued.
Yeah. Copyright infringement. But no, I need it. So after you and I got off the phone, I went downstairs and told my wife, hey, Scott, he diagnosed it, figured it out. It's this. And so here's my 2 options. I can like mirror an iPad and figure this, that, and then, but I can just do the max and get everything going. And her first comment was, my mic is hot. I'll turn it down. It's usually not hot. So that's a good sign. Her first thing was, why do you need so many screens? I'm like, what do you mean? I would like more if I could.
I've limited it to 4.
Yeah, I'm aiming for.
It's the bare minimum. I mean, I'm just at the bare functionality level with 4 screens. I mean,
yeah. So, but no,
I can talk because I've got.
Yeah, see, there it is.
I've got a few screens here myself, but.
Detective says just buy a multi-screen dock. Yes, Scott and I talked about that too. But my current setup and where everything is, it would be easier to have the other laptop and everything just plugs in and it all just pew, and it's one less device just subbing out a computer for computer.
I'm all about having like 70 different devices and 7 mouses and never being able to find the right keyboard. That's pretty much how I roll. So I'm jealous of you just having everything that works.
Kind of. But it kind of works.
That's cool. I've got all this water here that I'm going to dump. So let me put that away.
Not sponsored by Deer Park. Not sponsored by Pure Life. Oh, there it is.
I'm running out of space on Mrs. Ari's bookshelf. There's now a water storage as well in front of the books. But man, what a crazy day. We've got the fires in California. We have a verdict. Oh, wait. I was supposed to do this.
Oh,
we have a verdict in the trial, in the Thurston trial. For those that are new here, we play verdict music every time we have a verdict. Mr. Adams was charged with simple assault, 4th degree, in a disagreement he had with his wife, where it concluded with him grabbing his wife's ankle and wrist, allegedly, and lifting her up. The wife kicked. He let go. She called the police. And it took about 2 hours of deliberations for a verdict to come through. Thomas, I don't know how to do this properly. I might just have to put it on the screen. I'll have to be like this.
You've got one more device connected in the green room.
But the jury's just coming in on our watch. The jury's just coming in, and we're gonna hear them. Ideally, if the play button works. Why are they just paused there?
Your mouse.
There we go.
You gotta find your mouse.
All right.
I'm excited. I just got bits and pieces of this trial, and I heard
Can you hear
your version.
Can you hear it?
Kind of. I hear footsteps. Or is that work in your bathroom?
If you can't hear it, nobody else can hear it either.
Okay.
Which is bad. Just for the record, it's bad.
Real
No
bad.
one else can hear it. That means I have to bring it in on this computer.
We had a verdict. No, I'm excited because, like I mentioned, I didn't get to watch this full thing with you today, but I tuned in when I heard you giving your insight on. Was it a little sketchy on the testimony?
It was questionable. It
Okay.
was questionable. There was definitely what I think is room for doubt.
Okay.
We're gonna share it. I'm gonna share it from a different way.
Yeah, no, they can't. They can't hear. Lisa B says turn on CC. Lisa, we can't turn on CC. It's something that has to be done pre-show with a big delay. So unfortunately, it's not something we're able to do here.
All right. Does that look a little bit better? You can see that now. And I'm going to hit play.
Please. For the presiding juror, please identify yourself.
We can hear it.
Sir. All right. Has the jury been able to reach a
I
verdict?
can't hear anything. But
I can.
tell me what they say.
I'll have you read it. Would you please read the jury's verdict?
Chat can.
The jury find the defendant, Timothy Wolf Adams, guilty of the crime of simple assault.
Guilty.
Answer the question submitted by the court as follows.
Are you serious? You can hear this?
Wolf Adams and Megan as members of the same family household.
Why come around?
Timothy Wolf Adams and Adam.
I can't hear it.
It's extremely muffled now, but it was read in. It was guilty, and that part was.
All right.
Would the parties care
So we
to
have a guilty verdict.
the jury poll?
And
Yes,
yes, they
please.
found that it
Okay.
was against a family member, which might be an aggravating
And the members
situation.
of the jury, I'm going to ask you each
but,
in turn, one at a time,
now goes on
two
to sentencing.
questions, and
The
those are going
judges.
to be: is this the verdict of the jury, and is this your verdict? So, starting with you, juror number one, is this your verdict? Is it the verdict of the jury? Juror number two, is this your verdict? And
Judges
is this the
pulling
verdict of the jury?
the jury.
And juror number three, is this your verdict?
We got it.
And the
He's-
verdict of the jury.
Got the
Juror
audio
number
now.
four, is this your verdict? Is it the verdict of the jury? Juror number five, is this your verdict?
Yes.
And is it the verdict of the jury? Juror number six, is this your verdict? And is it the verdict of the jury? All right, very well, then the court will receive and enter judgment on this verdict. And with that, then I will be discharging you at this time, and you are relieved of all the instructions that I gave you earlier regarding discussing this case and your experience as a juror. You're free to do that. The people who may be most interested in talking to you about the case and your experience as a juror are the attorneys who tried this case to you. So if any of you are willing to remain behind afterwards, you can remain in the jury room, and these attorneys will be available to come talk to you if you're willing to give them any feedback. That's entirely voluntary. You don't have to do it, but you can if you want to. All right, we thank you very much for
I've
your
got the,
service and your discharge.
I've got the audio going from the fire in the background. Hang on. Sorry about that. I just like to listen to the scanner. So the jury goes out. I'm not sure if you need to see the rest of it. Basically, he's going to be sentenced. They're going to pick a date. I think he's going to remain out on bond. If I remember how this ended.
How many? Was this a one-day trial?
It was quick. They picked the jury yesterday.
Okay, I think I'm going to rewatch
Regard
this
to,
after the
sentencing.
podcast. To be honest,
Swenson, do you want to? do
All
that
you need to watch
now,
is
or do you
the
want to
testimony
set
by the
sentencing
wife
hearing?
and
I'd like
the
to set it
police
out a
officer.
couple
Police
weeks
officer
if possible.
particularly was interested.
Mr. Sharp, do you have any
Saying you
objection
can't
to
smell somebody who's had one beer. You can't smell alcohol on them.
what? What?
That was his
Yeah,
testimony.
well, the city does struggle to understand why more time could be needed. We do have full dockets all the time these days, so the city's conscious of that, and I think we've had plenty of time to prepare for trial. So I suppose the city will lodge a mild objection.
Mild Mild
Right,
objection.
well, I'm gonna
His
read
heart
right
isn't in it.
between the lines of that mild objection then, and go ahead and set a sentencing here.
Okay, sentencing hearing will follow.
It's not Serrano. It's
Your Honor,
mild objection.
even if it's set over, I do believe the conviction does enter today, which would necessitate some forms. So I'll prepare a post disposition, no contact order and notice of an ineligibility.
Right, so Mr. Evans, what the prosecutor means by that is that the conditions of your release remain the same until the time of sentencing.
So bond will
In order
continue.
for
I'm going to
that
cut
to
it off right there
happen
because we've got a lot of other
Properly, we're
things
gonna
to.
issue a no contact order that's the same as the
To
one
cover-
that's been in
cover
effect
tonight.
all this time.
This is way too relevant.
Yeah, we're gonna eliminate that one.
Cool. So you said testimony from the defendant and the
The
police officer?
Defendant's wife,
Okay.
which
Which is the alleged victim, correct?
who English is a second language. Her first language is Chinese, but she speaks pretty well. It's pretty easy to follow, and she says she understands well as well, which is funny. There's some moments in there where I think both lawyers sort of stepped in and asked questions they didn't know the answer to, and came back and bit them just a little bit on the butt.
Perfect. Love it.
So
Okay.
and then
I
the police officer was something else.
Awesome.
So,
I'm going to watch that after the show, I think. That's
police officer, I'll spoil it for you a little bit.
Please
No,
do.
never mind. The police officer was asked
Alright.
a question and he took it the wrong way and like started telling personal information about himself. That was, and he's like, whoa, we didn't want your story. So watch for that as well.
Love it. I got to listen to you in the background a little bit today. Like I said, I tuned in right about when you were giving your opinion on the case about, I'm not really sure on this one. This one's, let's see.
Mrs. Array informed me that I was wrong. And apparently she was right because the jury agreed with her.
That's when I came up and was trying to figure out what I could do with these extra cables to maybe make it work with a other laptop. Turns
Just plug
out
everything together.
Mrs. Weatherwatch's spare laptop that I found in the closet, the keyboard doesn't work at all. I was going to have it set up here and
I have one of those.
So yeah, you've got a laptop with a non-working keyboard.
Yes. So I have to use a wireless keyboard to use the.
So that was my plan.
Nice.
But I can't even unlock it to get to Bluetooth the keyboard to make it work.
Yes, you need a mouse and keyboard so you can turn in the keyboard setting.
Right. So it's just technology, brand new
No.
computer. It's amazing. And
So relevant. So relevant. I'm glad it's working. Thursday night podcast. This is a little bit. We step back. Normally, we step back from some of the seriousness that we cover, just murder trials and everything else. Breaking news during the week. We are sort of going to keep an eye out for the fire. Probably after the podcast. I don't think I'm going to do too many updates during this one, unless there's something you'd really like to address on that front. Which we could, because Thomas is, after all, a weatherman. And understanding, being from California and understanding the wind directions and what they deal with in the seasonal, you could have some quite relevant information to share there. But.
Yeah, there's watching these storms and how everything are now and with the fire, it brings back so many memories. I know I called into the show yesterday unintentionally going live with you to talk about the podcast. It was about fire stuff, but that one was about drawing a blank here, but my parents being gone, evacuating, and being gone, me coming home, etc. But there was plenty of wildfires, big, massive wildfires that are on the record books that we didn't evacuate from, but we watched right from our home where they were.
Front row seat.
100%. The air support, that's what's wild. I was telling my wife yesterday about, when we get fires here versus out there, the air support is bar none insane, because here there's literally zero, depending on the size of the fire and what's happening. Out there, where we're from, the smallest of fire ignites, and all of a sudden there's a spotter plane and there's air tankers right behind them on their tail. There was a big house on a hill across the way all the time. This canyon was always on fire all the time. And I remember for years it was just pink because the fire retardant that the, the tankers would just dump on and around and in
Might
front
as well
of.
just paint the house that color because it will gonna be that
Yeah.
way anyway.
Absolutely. So it was really neat to see as a kid because you're watching these airplanes do their thing. You're watching all the activity and all the structure and everything and how everything comes together. And as a kid, you're just watching these big giant toys do their stuff, and you're watching a fire way over there. And my parents are calm, so I'm not worried. I'm not freaking out. But now that I'm older and I look back, I just go, oh my gosh, that could have been what we're watching live and what we're seeing now. I watched homes get destroyed. I wasn't old enough to understand and realize the heartbreak and the heartache and what comes from it. So it's really kind of it's a different feeling anymore now because I have all these memories of how entertaining my life was as a young lad living in those times and seeing it happen. It was normal for us all the time. When we would see a spotter plane, oh, and we would know, oh, there must be a fire. It was, every couple of weeks. And
You might watch the news this weekend and see what happened.
Yeah, we might turn it on, and then boom, we would see the fire and the smoke. So
I need to shout something to my kids because I can't hear you because they're so loud. Hang on just 1 second.
Okay. But while Scott's shouting, prayers and thoughts for those that are affected or have friends there or even just watching it. It's a traumatic situation because it really is. And I know for so many, including my parents when I was young, after a few of the fires, obtaining home insurance was denied about 50 some odd companies before they finally accepted my parents
At an astronomical rate, I'm sure.
big time. And I remember I was old enough this time to know how much brush clearing behind our house was done, and it was more than what most policies were asking for and things like that. And I don't know how many companies later it was that finally accepted it, but to those that don't have it, can you imagine that every asset in your name has just gone kapoof?
Yeah.
People talk about the mansions and they're millionaires and they have all this. A lot of people have major assets, but not a lot of cash in the bank. It's, things like that. So I can't imagine. It's sad. It's pretty countryside out there. I've ridden it on a motorcycle. I've driven a car. I've visited tons of times. It's farther north than I was born and raised, and it's absolutely stunning and beautiful. Movies are filmed there time and time again. And
there's a reason the property is expensive. People like to live there. The weather is unbelievable as well when it's not doing this.
Right. So pretty wild. We'll see. There's lots to come. This is going to go for days and days and days. So most importantly, hopefully people have gotten out and have gone and gotten safe. But
what's Joyce want to know about?
Let me hear about Tom. So as I mentioned earlier, I tuned in the show late this morning and I saw Joyce and Karen in chat made mentions about said butt dial. And so I said, which mod told on me? And I was informed, no, not a mod. Scott told a story this morning.
Just a little bit. It was quick. You might not have known. I didn't ever answer. I mean, it was just like a ring and then stop.
Yeah, nobody did.
It was on my clock. It said all zeros because I do 24-hour clock, 24 hours. So it was
Nailed it.
100 hours.
Nailed it.
Ring ring, Thomas, paging all mods, and we have mods literally around the world. So, and then you hung up. So I thought it was funny. I was awake, but just barely.
I saw it, ended it, and typed. Whoops.
I should actually tell the truth. I was asleep, but I was still holding my phone up as if I was looking at it. So I like to think I was awake because when I really go to sleep, that's when I drop the phone and it hits you in the face.
Yes.
I had not done that yet.
Okay.
So you saved me from dropping the phone and hitting it in my face because once I woke up, I'm like, oh, I was about to drop the phone on my face. I was able to put it down, go to bed. So
I was early.
I owe you a bummer. I was going to say I owe you a thanks, but then find out your true intentions. Mod chat's calling you.
There. One more to end the butt dial saga. It was intentional. I told a few people in chat that called me out about it that had heard. I said, sorry, my phone was in Canton last night. I didn't know.
It happens. It happens.
Butt dials are a thing. Oh,
Well, wildfire update. It's still burning. The new fire is they're trying to control it in the bottom of the canyon. I think so far it hasn't crossed 101 that I've seen. I didn't get the last update just the last couple minutes, but it looks like the expenditure of a lot of resources at the very beginning when the fire is small is really paying off on this one. And hopefully they're able to knock it down and get the assets back to fight the other fires, which are still not contained. So
hoping so. But I'm sure we'll have updates in the morning later this evening and see kind of what comes from it. Can I do a rant and a rave?
Sure. Do you want music? Do you want like sad music or?
Yeah, let's go with sad music because I'm gonna rant for a moment.
Okay. Can you hear it?
And you're gonna, I can.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm gonna. You can turn it down just a hair. It's making me sad. Delivery service. I love them. My wife lives off of Amazon and everything else, and our delivery men are amazing. I ordered a new computer, so Scott knows half of this story already, and it was supposed to be here Christmas Eve, and it got here Christmas Eve, and it sat here Christmas Eve 4 days and days. So we finally called. It was scanned into, and Scott's gone as well as her music. Oh no, it's got weather. No, it's gone. I'll continue the story without the music. It sat in our UPS facility 4 days and days. So we finally called and no one could find it. The supervisor called. He personally went to look for it. It got scanned in and was gone. So my wife and I know, or think at least, that my brand new laptop coming in before Christmas was stolen. It's gone. Off it went. So that. The other is I ordered a product from a company who I really like, and it's a race suit for my motorcycle. And it didn't fit, so I returned it. The company was great. They accepted the return. They shipped me the new size that I needed. I got it, and I opened it 3 days ago, and it was 100% used and beat up and abused by somebody else. It was just gross. I could not believe someone shipped it to me. But what's amazing, so now I will rave about it. When I called that company back, which is a big company, the same lady I had called days prior because the size was off, answered. And when I explained the situation, she said, I remember you. You're in such and such town and you're this. And she was amazing. She had me email her the pictures of the suit that was used and had stains on it. And you tell. And so there's a procedure you have to do when doing a return and getting things back, and which I followed. But within 4 minutes of ending the phone conversation, this was late at night, I got an email that my new suit label had been created and shipping was expected the very next morning. So she was Johnny on the spot, was helping me out. She went above and beyond. So someone stole my laptop. That we ended up getting one back, and then I got a suit sent to me that was used and gross, but that lady fixed everything and got it done fast. So just tis the season. I feel like the holidays, it's the busiest time of the year for everyone, right? Gifts are going left and right. The weather is unbelievable and crazy and hard. It's hard to travel and traverse throughout, but they keep working. They do what they have to do. So my hat's off to them. And as I mentioned, my wife utilizes Amazon daily. The joke is I'm going to fully retire and work for Amazon part-time, so I get paid just to bring my wife's packages to our house. But Red Pen, we called Apple and we filed a claim with them, telling them what happened with UPS. Apple argued, well, we need more evidence. UPS service manager gave us all of his information that we shared with the Apple lady, and so they went ahead and shipped out what I'm on now, to which I'm so excited to have, except in the beginning of the show that I can only have 2 monitors. And then with audio's an issue. Scott's here. He's frozen. He's gone. I've got 4 Scots.
Okay.
He's here.
I've had creepy things happen before,
Uh-oh.
but 2 select computers lost internet access simultaneously, and the other one didn't. So I was able to watch Thomas, but not hear him. And my StreamYards dropped. Both of them.
But now you're here.
But one of them stayed going. I mean, I could see you on the big monitor on StreamYard. And all I heard was that I knew part of the story. I started playing some sad music, and then it looks like I just was really rude and ghosted you through the whole story. Like I didn't want to hear what happened. And now I'm super curious, but everybody else already knows and probably doesn't want me to have you repeat the entire story for my benefit. Is there a Cliff Notes version I can get?
Really quick, I got I might have even texted part of it. I don't know. I got a full motorcycle race suit, but it was a little too small. So I returned it.
I'll wear it anyway. It's fine. You can squeeze into those things. It works great.
Can't
they're supposed to be tight, right?
They're supposed to be very tight. They're this tight. Things were in my throat that shouldn't be in my throat. That's how tight it was. So I had to do the return.
We've got a visual now. Thank you.
The lady was phenomenal. Got it handled, everything. My new suit came, and I'm watching it come to the door, and I didn't even check it out. I just ripped it out of the bag. It comes on this hanger. They weigh like 20 pounds. They're super heavy because they're all leather with padding built in. I throw it on. I'm like, it fits great. I start to take it off because it's a task. And I start looking at it. It's used. It had been ridden multiple times or worn multiple times on multiple rides by somebody. And I'm looking at it everywhere, and I'm so mad. I'm just fuming. So I take a bunch of pictures of it, and the part of the story you missed was I called the company back. It's a huge company, massive. And I'm like, I hear, hey, this is, Renee, how can I help you? And I'm like, yeah, I've got a suit and this happened and I'm not very pleased. She's like, what's your zip code? And I tell her, and she goes, hey, wait a minute. You had the suit that was too small like a week ago. Right? And I went, oh my gosh, you sound familiar. I had the same gal, and her customer service was phenomenal the first go around, right?
If she remembered you, this is good. That's a good sign.
Yeah. So I told the story of I'm like, I'll just call her Renee. That's what I feel like I remember. And I tell her, and she's like, oh my gosh, that's terrible. I was like, yeah, imagine you buy a new car, right? And you get in it and you have a stained seat. Like that. That's what I'm looking at.
And 10,000 miles on the odometer.
and miles. I didn't even think about that. Absolutely. Because these tracksuits are not cheap. I mean, they are so protective. They are phenomenal. I mean, if you fall on a motorcycle at a high rate of speed, you will be fine, assuming you don't hit something with your body.
Yeah, as long as you skip, they're meant to protect you.
Exactly. If you can skip down the highway at 150 miles an hour in this suit, you're going to be generally okay. But no, you could see where someone wore it. The boots had worn spots all over the cut, everything. I was so mad. Anyway, so they have a protocol of, here's the return label after you email me pictures of the evidence and this. Well, she expedited everything. So I took pictures right away, got labels, got this. And she's like, when you send the receipt that you shipped it back tomorrow, we will start a new receipt to ship it to. Within like 5 minutes, I got an email. It was like, your new product is being shipped to you right now. She jumped the gun and knew.
She didn't wait
at all. It was awesome. So that's the not even Cliff Notes version. That's exactly, I think, what I said.
Word for word.
While you're gone.
I just ran a timer, and that's exactly how long my connection was down.
But shout out to her name's not Renee, but shout out to her at Revzilla, not sponsored, but she's awesome.
Maybe you should get a sponsor.
I should.
The way you're collecting motorcycles, you're going to need to get more suits.
Shh, my wife's not happy about the motorcycle situation. And she woke me up from my nap. I was so late getting ready for the podcast. And then I ran by the door, and the new replacement suit is sitting outside the front door right now. I didn't have time. I was too late.
If she finds it, she's going to think it's one of her packages. And that.
No, it's too heavy. She'll make me bring it in, and I'll just go mine because she gets a million of them. So I'll get them.
More tools to work in the yard, honey. That's what it is.
It's all covered in snow. Oh, well,
it's prepping for the next season.
Yeah, but I'm excited. It's neat. I've wanted one forever and ever and ever after 3 tries. I think the one I've always wanted is now sitting down in front of my front door.
I have to call Amazon about this desk.
Really?
Yeah, I love the desk. I bought it because of the lights. Okay,
Yeah.
I love the desk, but I bought it for the lights. The lights, there's something wrong with them. It's the little strip of LED lights. It's a custom set. So they're like in 3 different length segments to fit the different size, the L-shaped desk.
Yeah.
And the light patterns are phenomenal. But one side just like flashes rainbow, like strobe light,
Okay.
and the other side doesn't. And the buttons don't work. I'm like, so for a week I've been emailing China, who makes the desk. And I'm like, can you just send me the new lights? And they're like, oh, we don't have any in stock. I'm like, well, how do I get them? I'm like, oh, they're right here on Amazon. You can order these. These are the lights, and that's the replacement. And we'll just reimburse you for the lights. So I ordered the lights from Amazon, and they're the wrong ones. Yeah.
No.
I'm like, so those didn't work. And they're like, oh, we thought it would. They looked like they were the same. I'm like, well, they're not. And we've gone back and forth, and they've said it was operator error. I've made a video of the lights to show the problem, sent it to them. And the desk itself, the standing desk, love it. It is quiet. It's beautiful. It's everything I want. I just want the fancy lights to work.
100%.
And I'm almost at the point where I get to call Amazon and say, look, I still have a return period. I will tear this desk apart, box it up, and ship it back to you because it's not functioning and they won't get me my lights. You've got 6 more of them sitting there, but they're like, well, we're going to order some from China and it's going to be about 4 weeks. I'm like, mm-mm. So anyway.
Not happening. Why don't can you just disengage the existing lights and get your own little light fixture from Walmart? Like I've got tube lighting on mine that I installed myself. Is that an option, or are they integrated and it would just not be the same?
It's both integrated. They're designed for where the plug is. So it's a very custom length and segments, and the pieces of equipment that I have underneath it make it so that I can't have folds. There need to be hinges. It's like I could do that, but it would lose a lot of functionality.
Got it.
And I paid.
And you paid for it.
For a desk that works.
You paid for it. Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, that's where I'm at there. I was supposed to call them today. I think I already threatened to call them. Let's see if they emailed me. They probably did, and I just haven't seen it.
No chance. I'll check mine real quick. I've got nope. I've got nothing. It says it's out of our hands. The package is now in your hands, which is sitting on my welcome mat. But that's all I've got. I think there's been, if you want to jaunt over a few fan funding messages, I think that kind of came throughout our discussions.
I will do that, but I'll need the other mouse. Let's see. First of all, Nurse for God, a member for 20 months. Nurse for God, thank you very much. Longtime supporter of the channel, obviously for the 20 months. OG status for sure.
Huge supporter.
And then there you go, gifting membership as well.
Yep.
Just to solidify that status. Tumwater Troy, Scott's going to need a new cable, I'm sure. That's always the case. New cables fix everything. Jay Reno says, Weather Watch next time, change the packing selection, modify from item box only. Computers and monitors get lost frequently when shipped in original box.
Good to know. Thank you, Jay Reno.
It's packing secrets or ordering secrets. Paula Mack, who, by the way, I'm sending you a sticker right now, Paula Mack, has another month gone by already, hoping to be back in the swing of things sometime soon. Thank you, everyone, for the prayers. Paula Mack, thoughts and prayers for you as well. We'd like to see you back to full health and activity and happiness and just the usual happy self. That would be awesome.
Absolutely. So the podcast.
Yeah. Why are we here again?
We're 65% of the way over with where it goes. But where do we start? I've got this rundown was so weird and hard for me because there were so many cool things, but none of them ran together, which made everything so not relevant, which fits our show.
This would be great.
But it was hard. So I'll start with the one that I saw that I thought was kind of neat, and I'm sure it happens throughout the world in other areas. And I'm hoping chat can chime in if they've seen anything similar. But it's as far as Christmas goes on, because of unsold Christmas trees. They do all those Christmas tree farms and whatnot, where you go pick them up and get them, and there's a bunch of leftovers.
After Christmas, you buy a tree?
No, they feed them to a zoo in Berlin, and the elephants get to chomp on them all when they're unsold Christmas trees.
Elephants eat evergreens?
Mm-hmm. Unsold trees are fed to the animals at a Berlin zoo.
Why did I not know this? Elephants are from Asia. Do they have evergreens in Asia?
Trees didn't find a home in the festive season were given to some animals. On Friday, it's become an annual event. Elephants tore off the branches with their trunks, lobbing them around the enclosure, eating the greenery. The zoo takes only fresh, unsold trees from select vendors.
No tinsel. No tinsel, no pre-lit trees.
No trees, no. And it doesn't accept them from the public or anything like that that could contain chemicals or leftover decorations or anything. It's only from
Flocking is out.
vendors that they donate. They don't just serve as food. They're also used to keep the animals occupied as the zoo care for mammals they play with them. So
Josh, thank you for this super chat. That is crazy.
Yeah.
For some reason, an elephant and a Christmas tree I thought would ne'er the twain shall meet. But I guess elephants get Christmas as well. Just it's delayed.
Finally address the elephant in the room.
Yes. And it hasn't been naughty. It gets Christmas. That is fascinating.
Yeah. So no flock trees.
seen
81 says the chemicals and things like that. They only accept them from approved vendors from Christmas tree farms that sell them.
They have to be like vegan trees. What do they call them? Organic trees. That's what we're looking for.
Like, what tree's not vegan? It's a tree. We're not going down this road. But I think I love the recycling thing. It kind of tangent. It reminds me when I was the golf professional here in our town at our country club. One of the university golf students was writing a paper, and it was on the city's waste management. It was about recycling. And I'm not this like crazy big giant recycle or die person, right? But our particular town is terrible when it comes to recycling matters. And so, boy, when she came and said, "Hey, can I ask you some questions about the waste management, specifically about recycling?" Oh, it gave me a good hour-long vent session in my office, and she was just like, her pen was on fire, writing down everything I was saying about how it's bad. But so articles like that, I love seeing it because those tree farms, most of those trees are cut and done, and they're staged and they're ready for people to pick up. So now they're just going to die, and they're extreme fire danger and hazard, and they're just waste. So to repurpose them and putting somewhere where they belong, it's awesome. I love seeing stuff like that take place.
I've heard of towns in the Midwest that do Christmas tree pickups after, like, from residential areas, and they submerge them in lakes for tree structure or for fish structure.
Fish makes great fish house.
Fishermen hate it. They love the fish habitat, but it just catches lures.
The lures
just
get stuck all the time. Yeah.
You're gonna lose $100 in lures after they do that.
100%. But I like seeing things be repurposed. But let's see.
New life to old things is crazy. But speaking of, I guess this is a weird segue.
I thought you froze.
My brain did.
He's gone. Okay.
It's a weird segue. Talk about using things in a manner you didn't think you would, right? Christmas trees at the zoo or in the lake. That's where I'm sort of going here. Tractors are often considered farm implements, right? Plow field, harvest. You've got. Wait a minute. Say lures. What? Red pen.
I'm with Red Pen on this one. I caught it while you're saying it.
What did you say it?
Lures.
Lures?
Yeah, like that. But
lures?
But you don't have to like try really hard and like spraying a muscle in your mouth. You just say lures.
You can just say lures, like it says right there. Lures. I'm a fisherman, Thomas. I know these things.
I am too. I fish for bass. They're lures. They're not lures. See.
Do we need to do a poll?
The Red Pen has spoken. We need to do a poll.
We're going to save this one for later.
See, even
Because
Roy,
I think I'm going to lose this one. Is why I don't want to do a poll.
100%. So I think we need to do it now, not save.
No.
She's even Roy. So it's lures. It's not lures. Just as you say, we need to do a poll. You don't say we need to do a poll. Lures, lure, poll, poll.
It doesn't work like that.
No, it does. Do the poll or the poll, whichever one you want to do.
Lures like sewers is how you want to.
It's a lure. You are luring a fish, literally. You're not luring a fish. You're luring.
I've always lured them in.
No, you did no. Yeah. See,
Lure.
no need for a poll. Just read chat.
Lure.
Just read just all the chat comments. No need for a poll.
I'm scanning chat, hoping that somebody agrees with me, and it's just going so fast I can't read all the ones that agree with me right now.
Oh wait,
I think it's about 50-50 right
no,
now.
hang on. You've got one. You've got one from Lynn Taylor.
I'm lure-keen. RA is lure-keen.
So Lynn Taylor's with you, but what cracks me up is it's phrased, I'm actually with Scott. But originally, like, it's kind of a disclaimer.
I'm from New York.
In the comment there. There's a disclaimer in the comment.
Okay.
Hang on. We keep going.
No. There's we went down this rabbit hole. Now we have to chase it to the end.
We've got to know. The poll is what ends it. Yeah, it's over.
Okay, there's a word.
49ers
Cure.
Cure? Do you say cure?
Cure.
Cure.
Not cure. That's like a skewer.
No,
just
cure.
Just cure.
No, cure.
So everything that has an EU in it, everyone mispronounces. Is that what I'm hearing? Oh man. Okay, so I need to go back to school.
No, I think Warrior Queen's on your side. Stop it. Lure does not rhyme with sewer. So you've got two vote. Oh, here's a good test. Greener says say sure, pure, cure, lure.
Sure. Pure. Cure. Lure. They are all the same.
That was SUR, PUR, CUR, LER.
I was today years old when I've been called out on this one. I've never in my life have I had anyone tell me that I was saying that wrong.
Well, you got the grade back from your test. Greeners.
Now I use those words in everyday, like in the live stream. No one has said anything. Like I'm sure that no one has ever brought this up. Now I'm self-conscious.
It's phenomenal.
Man.
It's okay. No, I'm sure it's been brought up. Red pen is Johnny on the spot.
Yeah.
Oh. Aaron, welcome.
Red
You're
pen.
late.
I'm not sure if I'm going to send out that sticker now. Let me see if I can find your letter here. It's in here somewhere.
Aaron, you're late. Welcome. We've been talking about how we pronounce words or don't pronounce words. It's been a fight. It's been an argument. Everything but a poll.
We were talking about things being used the wrong way, like the letter U, for example. But I was talking about tractors. This one is a little story that comes up out of Utah, which may be why I have a weird accent because I was raised out those parts. But Taylorsville, Utah, from the illustrious KSL radio station and KSL radio and TV station, which happens to be the strongest signal west of the Mississippi, United States, as far as signal power goes. So lots of listeners. Good station. A Taylorsville man who stole a tractor and then used it to break into an ATM is facing multiple charges.
Perfect.
He's 42 years old. He's charged with 2 counts of theft, burglary, drug possession. Of course, you knew that was going to be in there. Trespassing, marijuana possession, which I don't know how that's different from drugs, and possession of drug paraphernalia. Also, 2 counts of causing property damage 2 counts of burglary, 2 counts of theft.
Jeez.
And surprise, surprise, the charges came a day after he was arrested in another burglary case. So we have a repeat offender.
Oh, repeat offender. That is like,
He had a great idea. Let's use the tractor to get in the ATM. Those things have more cameras around filming them than a Tesla. You never get away with this.
Never. You can't. And there's fingerprints all over the thing. I mean, it just, I don't understand. Does anyone else, is it just me? I don't know. When you go into a store that has an ATM or the bank or anything, and you know, the big like Brinks bank trucks are there with all the cash, you know, they're parked out front right by the door with the flashers, and the one guard's in there and the one guy's walking out, and you're like walking into the store and you look over and you give a nod to the driver who's sitting there. Do you ever think, oh, I just made eye contact. Now they're watching me. I'm a suspect. I always feel that way.
I had a relative who did this job.
Really?
And the driver is carrying he's got some firepower at his disposal. What I like to do at this is when I see anyone transporting cash, I immediately like to make eye contact, change my direction of travel, and then loiter in that spot for just a minute.
Just set off signals to where they
and then like glance over the shoulder at him a little bit. That's all. Just like I'll make sure they're on their toes. Make sure they're paying attention. I've never had anything bad happen yet. But
I think I'm going to do that next time. I'm going to walk up near the truck, give him a hand on, and then
let's go. He's going now. Okay.
And then just stand next to him for a minute. See what they do.
I'm pretty sure that might be a felony.
Could be.
This dude with a tractor steals the tractor, drives it up the hill, parks it for 40 minutes, basically like cases the joint for 40 minutes, waiting for the employee to leave before he drives it down there, does $3,000 worth of damage, ripping an ATM out of a wall.
To find out that it was empty.
He was recognized from another video. No, damage to the store total was $28,000. The ATM was $3,000. Damage to a fence he drove through to get the tractor was $8,000. He took cash of $2,660. These are all felonies. So yeah, I'm guessing he's not going to steal anything else for a little while because he's going to be.
It's not going to be allowed to. Well, unless he does from a prison mate, and he's going to get to fight.
It's going to be fries. It's going to be fries from somebody else's table.
It's going to be canteen. That's the max that he can get on. Golly. Oh, speaking of big numbers, North Carolina. No, sorry, not North Carolina, because I axed that story. I'm so bad at this. You would think after 3 seasons I might get this right, but I axed that one.
Makes perfect.
It's good. 5 years in, I might get it going right. I'm screwed with piano then, if that's the case. Connecticut lottery player beats the odds in 1 in a trillion. I know we tease.
That's a big number.
Stuff. Yes, trillion. 1 in a trillion.
This is like finding a match in DNA. When you start going up there, it's like a random person matches you in DNA. That's the odds of this happening. So what did he do?
Quintillion to gazillion billion pieces.
28 zeros or something.
Yeah. And the prosecutor's like, how many zeros is that? And you're like, 32.5. Yeah. So Connecticut, 1 in a trillion to win big prize from scratch off, purchased from the same store within 1 week. Connecticut Salem resident won $200,000 from a Cash Royale scratch off ticket purchased from a Citgo. And then the player returned the same store 4 days later and bought a $1 million cash ticket that earned it's the $1 million jumbo is what the scratch off is, and it earned $750,000.
At what point do you start asking questions about everyone involved in the chain of custody for these tickets?
Do you work with the lottery by chance? Do you know somebody that?
Do you know the store owner? Do you have?
Do you work with the school district by chance? Because so many proceeds of lottery go to the schools. But within 1 week, 750,000 and 200,000. So just shy of $1 million. Obviously, payouts probably going to be
half that.
Yeah, it's going to be 400,000 to 350. I'm sure when they cash out. But within 1 week,
and then
life changing.
You get the payout is half, and then tax is less, right?
Yeah, the payout's usually about half, and then taxed is like
tax is half of what's remaining.
Yeah,
you get a quarter of it.
45%. Yeah. So, and that's scratch off type stuff, big money there. If you take lottery winnings are a little bit different. You can take a lump sum that includes tax and you can walk home with like 45% of it or something. But Nancy T says, bam, that's 50 minutes away from me in Connecticut.
Wow.
Nancy, go play the lottery. No, don't. But I'm just
don't go to that store. They're all out of winning tickets.
They're dry.
Like the odds of them having another one it's not going to happen.
Super crazy.
Nobody ever asks for scratch offs.
Do you have any? Did you get any snow coming your way yet? Is it happening?
I think it's supposed to happen Friday. Let me check my weather app. I haven't been
tomorrow?
outside. Let's see. It's 27 degrees, so that's good. It's good for snow. It's cold. Feels like 20. It's going to get down to 23. If only I didn't have a 90 square foot hole in the middle of my floor down to the dirt underneath my house right now. Because it's awfully cold in this area.
My feet are freezing.
They are, and it's right here. I need to finish the bathroom remodel, put the floor in. Looks like we got some weather coming in tomorrow. It says snow on Friday, 60 some odd % chance. My kids will be happy. Did you arrange that for us? Special delivery?
So I know the town you're in, and the place I really like to forecast weather from is sun through high clouds and cold, freezing rain at night can lead to some icy, dangerous travel late tomorrow. You've got a winter weather advisory from 4 p.m. to 4 p.m. tomorrow to 10 a.m.
For ice.
For ice.
No snow.
No snowmen will be made tomorrow.
I've been telling my kids snow all week long because it has a little snow icon on my iPhone.
Snow go.
Nope. It's like it's in there somewhere.
The green screen blocks it for us.
It's terrible.
No, you just need to tell them, sorry, kids, it's not snow. It's just treacherous driving conditions. That's all it's become.
So no, you can't go out and play in the snow, and we can't go anywhere fun because the roads will be slippery.
Bingo. So because you're a big advocate for child labor, they can keep working on the bathroom.
Yes. Just bundle up, kids, because it's cold in there. Get to work.
Stay inside. We had forecasted massive snow, no snow, massive snow, no snow. It just kept coming, going back and forth. And then finally, last night, everyone was like, "I'm probably going to get 3 inches of snow." And bam, it happened. It's been awesome. I ran to the store this morning, hopped in the truck, and it made my heart so happy. Driving through the neighborhood to get to the road to the store, there were kids in so many yards building snowmen and goofing off and snowball fights and playing, and their parents were. It was so much fun. And so I got to the store, came home because my daughter. Well, can I rant a little bit?
Dude, the music. Last time I played the music, it kicked me out. So no music this time.
No, don't do it because this one is against me. So I don't want the music. My daughter this morning said, "I really want waffles," and I said, "Okay. Do we have any mix?" And we have pancake mix. I said, "No, we need to get some Belgian waffle mix. That's not the same. I'm a big waffle guy, especially Belgian waffles. Those thin little. That's not a waffle. It's got to be the big." And
to hold the syrup, like the pockets for the syrup.
100%. Yes, you got it. So I said, and anyone that's been Facebook friends with me for, I don't know, maybe a year, they've probably seen my wife tag me in this one, unfortunately. But I said, okay, I'll go get waffle mix. Dude, where's our waffle maker? And I look down and can't find it in the drawer. She goes, "Did we throw it away after the sunscreen incident?" And I went, "Yeah, you're right, I did." So the sunscreen incident, I got out the waffle maker late one night. My wife and my daughter wanted waffles. I reached up in the pantry, and this was at a point in time when we had a lady came and help us clean the house like once a week for an hour. Mm-hmm. I reached up to where I have my spray oils or olive oils, avocado oil. So I grabbed it and just sprayed the waffle maker, put the spray back up, and made the waffles. I tested the first waffle because it looked a little odd, and I want to make sure that everyone gets a proper waffle. And it was the most chemical off. The spray was sunscreen. They put up in my thing. It was SPF 90 that I sprayed all over the waffle maker.
At least you didn't burn them.
It was the grossest thing I'd ever tasted. And I looked down at the spray. And so, of course, my wife posted like, never never a sunburn in this house when Thomas was cooking and tagged me in it.
Oh,
And
man.
so, anywho, that got thrown away. The waffle maker got thrown away. Everything's gone. So this morning I went to the store. I got a brand new Belgian waffle maker with waffle mix, made everything, and it was awesome. And so after she had the waffles, I said, "Hey, there's like a million kids all over the neighborhood. They're all doing stuff. Like, come on, let's go walk around the neighborhood pond and the bridge and hang out." And she was like super excited to do it. So she got dressed up. We walked around and went out, and it was beautiful. The snow and the trees, because there was no wind.
Yeah.
So it wasn't uncomfortable.
It wasn't blizzard.
Right.
Blizzarding.
So we got home, and then they all bundled back up and had to pull the smoker out, get it started.
For day 8. Are you on day 8? On the 365 days of cooking food on the smoker challenge?
9. I'm 9 of 9.
Nice.
9 of 9.
Moving along quite nicely.
Yeah.
Speaking of snow, there's one story out of Colorado. This in from Summit County. You know when you're following GPS and it tells you to turn, and you haven't been there before, and you're like, well, it said to turn. Do you wait until it's like you're confident, or it said turn, I'm gonna go?
I'm stubborn. I go my own way, and like she'll reconnect, she'll reroute, she'll figure it out. I don't follow when I think I know I'm right.
But if you're in a new area and you see like, well, there's an opening that says turn right, would you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so this could be you. This lady, there's a picture of a car on the ski slope at the ski resort in Summit County, Colorado, because the GPS told her to turn, and she drove right out on. So people are like snowboarding around the car. It's just like, at what point do you think maybe there should be a road? I mean, I would think the lift would have been your indicator.
Yeah, driving the lifts up there, a car should never be underneath that. Maybe I should stop and wait a second.
Maybe the jump, the moguls, the half pipe, all these things should be like, maybe I went the wrong way. Maybe
there's a lot of memes that could come from this that are not appropriate for the channel that I could.
Thank you for your forbearance.
And others might add, but that's crazy. There's a picture literally it's the Summit County Sheriff on Instagram. For anyone that has Instagram, Summit County Sheriff, all one word that wants to look it up. It's literally right in the middle of a run. It looks like probably a blue. Maybe it's not a great.
Dark blue. What is that, an Audi?
It is.
Yeah.
It's an Audi.
Which apparently it sort of could serve as an advertisement for Audi, because I mean, how many vehicles could really drive up the ski slope? Like
they couldn't either, got stuck. So it's
she did. She had to get towed out. The tow truck was able to remove the vehicle. So
don't show the car. Blur it out.
Show the first part. It's like, I mean, if she had made it all the way to the top of the mountain and then just skied down, that would be epic. That would be like, yeah, skip the lift pass. Save myself $20 by driving to the top of the ski hill. But
Greener says input.
It's pronounced
Audi.
Audi.
Technically, yes. But
are you serious? Is that another word? I've always said Audi.
Yeah, Audi, technically. But everyone, like people say Porsche, and then others say Porsche.
I used to say audio, but not Audi.
And other people say Audi.
I say Audi.
Correct. Oh.
Like a belly button. It can be any or an Audi. It's an Audi. That's why I don't drive one, because it reminds me of belly buttons. That's. I say all the words wrong.
I hope Phil gets a hold of this one. That's why I don't drive one, because it reminds me of belly buttons. If you could pair that with something somewhere, that would be amazing.
The only thing belly buttons are good for are collecting lint. And unless you're weaving an Afghan, which is disgusting, there's, why would you have it? Okay. I'm sorry. If you're a big fan of Audis, I think I drove one to Florida, and it was actually pleasant, and it had no belly button lint in it.
Wait a second. I was
You were distracted. It's fine. We can move on.
no, I was reading Lindsay's comment and I caught the tail end of yours and said, I found no lint in it. And I'm like, what? So the one you rented to Florida to
Yeah.
Dr. Goodhair's house when you stayed.
I think that was an Audi.
Yeah, the SUV one. It
Mhm.
was like smart driving and all that.
It took me through Georgia, both directions without ever stopping. I never slowed the wheels down to a stop in Georgia.
Phenomenal.
I know Josh is disappointed in that. He wants me to go down to Georgia, but
We didn't know him back then.
I didn't, but I knew the courts down there, and I knew I did not want to stop or be stopped in Georgia,
That's fair. Lindsay,
especially in an Audi.
Yeah.
How do you say that word?
So I say crayon. Crayon.
Okay.
I don't say crown.
Like cran raspberry?
No, crayon. Crayon. Crayon.
Okay. I know it. The word is crayon, but you say cran like cran raspberry.
Crayon.
You just cross off a bunch of letters, take that big red Crayola and just cross them off and say C-R-A-N, crayon.
No, crayon.
Which
Crayon.
crayon, like Crayola crayons, right?
Crayon, yes. See,
And-
she says it way wrong. Crown. It's not a crown. Crown's on your head. It's on your fingers. It's on the bottom.
I don't know which words are right anymore.
Because he says crown too.
I say crayon. I say crayon.
I feel like I'm hearing you say it how I say it. You say crayon.
Crayon.
Yeah.
I say
You don't say
library
crown.
because there's an R in it. I say library. I didn't say library.
You don't call it a crown, right?
No, I don't.
No. So you aced this one. Where's Red
Okay.
Pen? Red Pen, you need to be here to cheer
So
him
that
on.
raises my score at
Yeah.
least to a D minus, I think, today.
Totally. Lindsay's mad. Whatever.
Lindsay, I'm sorry, I'm not with you on that one. Where were you on my lure, Lindsay? Where were you on my lure?
Red Pen needs to be here giving you props for saying what it needs to be. It's a tough crowd. Oh, there's so many words.
Speaking of
another big one.
libraries. Oh, go ahead.
No, you got it. Yep. See what you did there? I'm
Yeah,
not being
I found the only smooth segue in the entire show.
and I
we
botched
just
it
missed
for
it.
you.
Yeah, go ahead. Speaking of what? Keep going.
Libraries.
Libraries. Speaking of libraries, that's where we were. We've had covered stories like this before. The idea of a library is you go, you find something you want, you borrow it. No, you don't borrow, you borrow it, and you and then implied with that borrowing is that you will return it at some point, usually within a couple of weeks, depending on the item, depends on the library. New York Public Library just got one of their borrowed items back. This was a book. So let's see, Igor Stravinsky. Who is Igor? I have to research this now because I didn't check him beforehand. Who's Igor? I don't know. The link for Igor links back to the same story about this book. Anyway, there's a autobiography. So he wrote it himself. That's what it means. Auto self.
Thank you.
I'm just trying to take a couple wins on the English language because Red Pen is ripping me apart tonight. Autobiography, 72 years after it was checked out.
72 years.
Yeah, that's literally a lifetime.
Igor Stravinsky was a Russian composer and conductor with the French citizenship from 1934 and American citizenship from 1945. He's widely considered one of the most important and influential composers of the 20th century and pivotal figure in modernistic music. Born to the musical family in St. Petersburg, Russia. I'll stop there. It's a huge Wikipedia page. I feel like I should know this.
Big fans
take
of
piano
Igor.
lessons.
Yeah. The book was stolen in 1952.
Holy cow.
I say stolen because at that point you can't say I borrowed it and I'm going to return it. 72 years. No, that was you stole. It was full on theft or conversion. Maybe I think conversion would be the legal term because legally you had rights to it, but then you retained it after you should have returned it back.
My mind is blown that they came to return it and they still had record after that many years.
And they probably had a late fee.
I had
like, hang on, let me do some math.
Hey,
Hold tight here. Did you bring your
oh,
wallet? How many
hang
cards
on.
do you have?
It's going to be $150, sir. I called a repair store the other day that they were here a month ago and they had no record of doing any service at our residence. But this house or this library after 70 something years. That's crazy. That, what's wild is we've had a story like this on the show months ago where someone did it. It was
like 50 years.
50. Yeah, exactly.
Which
And
I thought was a long time, but apparently people are trying to set records of this type. These are not the right type. For 72 years, somebody's tried to read this book and like, well, they're going to return it any day now. I'm on the wait list. Okay. I'm next in line. I'm number 2.
Totally. And we're late to the game to try a record in this regard. It looks like the picture in that article that was put, I can't tell if that's Twitter, Instagram. Looks like it's signed by someone, not Igor, but a B. Stravinsky with some date or coding. I don't know. Odd.
Well, it's an autobiography, so maybe he did write it.
But
sign it.
But who's B? He was Igor.
I don't know.
So maybe it wasn't stolen. Maybe a family member had it, turned it in, tricked the library. I don't know. It's
Let me get my tinfoil hat.
I'm kind of with Kaylee. Why take it back after that long? Like, why not keep it, hand it off, especially something like that? Like, or I wonder if a family member that didn't know anything about it, where it is now, inherited it. Here it is, and they're like, "Oh, look at the library, and it's still open." They just go back and say, "Here, it's this." So the person that returned it didn't actually have the book.
There was like no part of me be like, "Hey, I found this old rusty book sitting in the closet somewhere. Means nothing to my family. Let me see if the library wants it." I would be like, "Let's put that in the donation pile." It's gonna go. Plus, Newark Library they've been fee-free since 2021. Apparently, fees aren't working. They're like, whatever. Just if you steal if you take something from the library and you don't return it, you're already gonna break the rules. Who's gonna be like, actually, well, now that I've broken the rules, I'd like to pay a fine. No, they're not. You're not gonna pay the fine either. It's just a waste of their time.
Clean conscious after this.
I can die a happy man because I returned the book.
I returned the book. I've got Greener said, now we're in overtime, which we are kind of, but we were also late. But there's one story I can't avoid because as we get further into the year, we get away from the holidays and how things work. But I also mentioned this on a prior show. But it also reminds me of what I mentioned on a prior show and Scott, because it's a kind of a combo. Do you remember me mentioning how my mom was so gifted at hiding Christmas gifts that like a month or two after Christmas, she would find one behind a mirror, be like,
surprise.
I knew we were one short on Christmas. And there it is. And then there. So this one, I saw it and went, oh my gosh, as I read just the first like sentence, I went, there's Scott and there's my mom. And it's Christmas came 46 years late in Illinois. For a man who is performing renovations. So the renovations part is what.
Oh, that's where I come in.
Yeah, that's where you
guys every wall I can, trying to see if there's something in
it. He was doing renovations in his childhood home where he found a present that had fallen behind the wall in 1978.
Please tell me it's like a baseball card, like original signed first edition.
Oh, let's see. Tim, he was renovating the bathroom at his parents' house when he found something inside the wall. We took a medicine cabinet for drywall.
Hang on.
Look inside to make sure.
Hide the gift in the bathroom wall?
Well, they were taking apart the medicine cabinet. So I think something had a wrapped Christmas gift that had been intended for him to open on Christmas in 1978.
It's got his name on it, literally.
It has his name on it. He said his parents used to hide gifts in the home's attic. Oh, I bet it. And this one had fallen into a crawl space without anybody noticing. And for anyone that wants to know, on Instagram, there is a video for anyone that wants to watch it. It is tking_cs on Instagram. If you want to see the video,
what is the gift?
He opened the gift for his parents, revealing a set of now vintage Max box toy airplanes.
TYO toys would flip vintage Matchbox.
And his mother had no memory of buying.
She's like, whatever. That wasn't me.
I didn't do that.
Blame your father. It wasn't me.
100%. Yeah. So anyone interested to see the video, he does a little opening and shows it. If anyone wants to clip and send it to TYO Toys, again, it's tking_cs on Instagram. Opens it up. Pretty cool. Thunder Jets is what I'm kind of seeing in the. But can you imagine that many years long? It makes me think 99%, if I were to place money on it, there's a gift in my childhood home somewhere still from my mom.
I'm just thinking this guy went 42 years thinking my parents just didn't love me that year. I got no gift. I don't know why, but everyone else got presents and I did not.
Now it's got to be. That's a cool story. That's super fun. That's something that's really neat. It's got some value to it, but it's really cool all in one. And it just, for me, I love it. Runs my mom because I'm sure there's a Christmas gift out there somewhere that she forgot about to this day. So, bless her heart. Rest in peace, Mom. That's her article. So,
man.
But
wow, I hope to find something in the walls. Every time I smash the wall, I'm like, be careful. You know, there might be something back there, glass jar full of, Civil War money or something, gold bars. But I have not found it yet. So,
well, just keep smashing down walls, and you might find something.
Right.
Tuning in, watching us tonight. Those of you that are facing severe weather, whether it be winter or fire or anything else severe or just normal days, thank you so much for being here with us and hanging out. Really appreciate it. Scott, you stream all day, every day. I appreciate you taking a break for the evening so you and I can get together and do this Not Relevant podcast. It's so much fun. I really have fun with you, and chat is just phenomenal. It makes me laugh every time.
Thank you, Thomas. This is the highlight of my week. It honestly is. Love it. Thank you. Glad to know that your computer's working at least well enough for the podcast to function. I was nervous when you called and said, computer issues. So that's great. Thoughts and prayers for all those on the fire lines, both the firefighters, the first responders, and all those who have been displaced by these fires in California. Our thoughts and prayers are going out to you guys. Please stay safe. I know we've got viewers that are included in those evacuations, as we saw those calls go out this afternoon. It just hits really close to home, and for some people, they can smell the smoke in the air, and it's really a sobering thing to do. So, glad we take this little break. Hopefully, we can lift your spirits a little bit as we're facing a lot of heavy news, and probably continues tomorrow. Glad we got a verdict in the trial today as well. It's all good. Thomas, you have plans for the weekend?
I don't know what day it is.
You're gonna smoke something in the grill.
I'm gonna smoke something tomorrow. I know that much. I think I'm gonna take the day off tomorrow.
Awesome.
After in my early retirement, I have done nothing but work every day since. So I think tomorrow's gonna be a day off. I'm gonna take Friday off. So I can go back to work on Saturday.
You deserve it. Well, I'll let you go because I know you've got a package on the front step you got to get to. So,
and I got to rewatch your stream today.
Oh yeah, all of it, every word, on all 4 monitors.
That's. What time are you going live tomorrow?
8:30ish. 8:30ish, maybe 9:30.
See everyone about 10 a.m. Eastern tomorrow. Have a good night, everyone.
That's about it. We'll see you guys. Bye.